Guys, in case you're new to this channel, my name is Hamad Benaicha. I'm the founder of Anduit.ca. In this channel, I talk about MacBooks repairs, everything to do with MacBooks. I'm located in Toronto, Canada, downtown next to the CN Tower, and I have been in the business for over 20 years. I'm also an Apple certified technician, and I only fix MacBooks, nothing else. So if you haven't done it yet, please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Well, hi guys, un petit bonjour, un petit coucou à nos amis francophones. Today we're working on a MacBook Pro 16-inch, model 2141. We're going to replace the battery for this MacBook. This MacBook I have some minor liquid damage, but luckily enough for this client, he said he watched my video on what to do, what not to do for liquid damage, and nothing happened, and he got lucky, and there was no need to fix it. He just want to replace the battery because it doesn't hold charge. So now if you look at the screen at the top there, that's the video he was referring to, so make sure you watch it too, in case you get liquid damage in the future, and you could actually save your MacBook. And this is a fairly expensive machine, so it was so grateful. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna replace the battery. I'm gonna show you step by step on how to do it. I'm gonna give you tips what you should do and not do when you remove the battery. And yeah, so let's go ahead and remove the back cover. So I'm going to use one of those comparators because there are a lot of screws, as you will see. We're going to remove the motherboard, the logic board. So I'm going to have to keep it as organized as possible, especially if it's your first time doing replacing the battery for this machine. Okay, so first thing first is always make sure you unplug the battery. Always. Okay. Let's start removing the screw, the big screw for the battery. Okay, we're gonna need this cable after for the new battery. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna have to remove the logic board, okay, because as you can see the battery is running underneath over here, underneath the logic board. So let's remove it. So those screws are pretty much the same size, so keep them together. This is the antenna. Okay, it's the same size too. Okay, so now I'm gonna unplug that. Fan, the second fan over here. If you can see, okay, good. Okay. So what I like to do, I like to put some magnets over here. Makes it easier to pick up the screws. Okay, so this is the trackpad. This is the keyboard over here. So I'm just gonna plug that. Good. I'm gonna remove this screw over here. There's one on the other side, exactly the same. So I'm gonna put them together. There's 3 of them, I think. Yeah, there's 3 on this model. One here too. There you go. They're different size from those ones. Okay, so I'm just gonna finish removing all the cables. Just be gentle because there is a little bit of double tape underneath those ones, so you don't want to break them. Okay, just be gentle. There you go. Okay, so we're gonna do this side now. There we go. So I'll keep those together, so I know it's the same side. There you go. Okay, remove the last one. The last one, be gentle. That's the power button. There you go. Okay, now we're gonna do this side. Okay, so now last but not least, the LCD. Okay, almost there. Now we're gonna gently put on here on this plastic over here. Okay, so almost done. There's only two things left to do, but we'll come back to it. That's the battery. So I'm just gonna close this for now. Put it aside. Oh, there's two left. Sorry. One here and one here. Okay, so let's double check again. And as you pull the board out, just do it gently. If it resists, it doesn't want to come out, don't push it. Okay, it's because there's something still either plugged in, like a cable, or there is a screw missing that you probably missed, or that it happened to me. So just be gentle. Okay, if all is done, it will come out easily. There you go, done. Okay, so this board is pretty clean on both sides. Just gonna put it aside somewhere safe. Okay, you don't want to scratch any edges, so put it somewhere flat and safe. Make sure there is no liquid damage, so no liquid on where you're putting it. Run your hand if you have to, okay? So I'm just gonna dust it quickly. I'm just grabbing the vacuum. I'm just gonna dust it quickly. Dust it down here. See that makes the machine gets hot something because it's preventing the fan to push air through the vents. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and remove the battery. So I'm gonna remove this cable, this screw. Okay, don't lose them. You're gonna need them when you put in the new one. Okay, so what we need to do now, as I always do, I'm gonna use two things. The spatula, okay, this one, okay, nothing special, but very thin and very sharp, enfin not sharp, but thin enough to go through. And then when you need some alcohol, okay, and that's pretty much it. 99% alcohol. And then those two sides are safe enough. The only area where you have to be careful is this, because there is the trackpad underneath. You don't want to damage the trackpad. So I like to start with this side. So take your time. Once it goes in, it gets a bit easier. So I put a little bit more alcohol. I usually do it with the LCD open, so it's a bit easier, but because of the video, I'm doing it this way, which I'm not really used to it, but just to show you how it's done. Okay, some models have stronger double tap than other models. This one is pretty strong. Usually it comes as much faster. Okay, so that's one. So that's a double tap. So now, piece of advice: if yours is swollen, okay, some of them are, just be gentle as you go through, because you don't want to make a hole. You don't want to pierce, make a hole in there, because then you're gonna have some sparkles, and also fumes, and you don't want to smell those fumes. Okay, it's really toxic. So just be aware. If yours has sorry, move there a little bit. If yours have swollen, just be gentle, super gentle. Take your time. There's no rush. I mean, take your time. Whatever it takes. Sometimes what you can also do, sometimes when they're hard like that, I will use one of those. I would pull alcohol straight in there. There you go, and that usually makes it slightly easier. Yeah, much easier. Yeah, so much easier. There you go. See, much easier. There you go. I just drain the excess, and by the time I'm done, the alcohol would have completely evaporated. So now we're gonna do the other side. So we do the same thing. one. Yes. Okay. Okay, good. You know, on this two, you don't have to worry too much because there's nothing you can damage. There is no cable running here. There's nothing, so there's nothing really to be concerned about. And also there is this part over here which acts like a bit of a protection on the wall. So even if you go hard or rough, there's nothing that can happen. It's just the spatula will stop against here. Just be careful not to damage the speaker on both sides. But other than that, there's no real immediate danger on this side. Okay. So now the most challenging part is the middle. So the middle, you have to take your time. Okay, and so gentle. And I will show you once I remove the battery where to be where you have to be very careful. You will see. So the next time you do yours, keep watching the video, and you know where the double tips are and where the parts for the trackpad is, and that's the part you don't want to damage. So I just go on the edge over here. I use this tool as a leverage, this part over here. Once I get in, it gets a bit easier. Okay, so as you can see, this is area that you don't want to go dig in because you're going to damage the trackpad. As long as you stick like this, okay, and then you come back here, then you have some leverage to pull up a little bit like I did. I just took off pretty much those two corners and then I just finished lifting it up. Okay, so now we're going to do the same on the other side. So I'm going to add a little bit. Okay, so it's a bit awkward for me here because I'm not used to do it that way. I would put it on my lap and work sometimes. Okay, so again, same thing. I'm using this as a leverage to go straight. There you go. Done. Out. Okay, so again, just avoid as much as you can these areas. You don't want to scratch it. Okay, I've done it once when I was starting when those model came out, and I managed to scratch one and I had to replace the trackpad. Luckily enough, I mean, I have the parts, not a big deal, but just you know, be careful if it's your home computer. Okay, now what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to remove as much as I can of those old double tape. Some of them, when they are really nice cut like these, you don't have to worry about it. Okay, and you can if you want to, but you don't really have to. The new battery comes with a fresh double tape. What you don't want is that something that's like that, because the battery will not sit flat. It will sit flat here, but here will be like a little bit. So you want everything to be smooth and flat. So if it's smooth and flat like this one, there is no rough edges or no, that's fine, you can leave it. But something that, you know, like this one over here has to come out, because otherwise the battery will not be able to sit flat. See, like this one is folded, so it's not good. See, like that, it's not good. It needs to come out. This one is flat, nice and flat, it's fine. Okay, so let's do that here too. So what we're gonna do next, once this is almost clean, I put the new battery and we're gonna test it. Unfortunately for this model, there's a little you can do. You have to remove the old one to test the new one. So I'm gonna test it, make sure it's good quality, make sure there is no error message, make sure the numbers are correct. And if they are, then I'll glue it and then we'll secure the board back. And I will show you a couple of tips about this model 2141, because the other ones are easy to put the board back, but this one is easy enough. But you see those cables, they're gonna keep on going back and forth, and it's gonna drive you nuts, because by the time you finish putting everything, you might notice that there's one missing. So I will show you a trick, a tip. And it's nothing special, but that's how I do it. That way I don't lose time. I don't waste time. Okay, almost there. Okay, so new battery. The new battery here. Okay. Most batteries don't come with a cable, so make sure you don't lose that cable. That's why I removed it at the beginning. So let's put back the board. Okay, so that's the tricky part, not tricky part, but this cable, I'm gonna put some tape here so they don't move, so I can put the board. Otherwise, as you put the board, you'll see this is gonna give you problems on the NAC cable, and the NAC cable, one of them is gonna go back inside. So if you tape them gently, it won't move, and that way it will be much easier. So tape. I use this tape over here. There you go. And this one too. Here. Okay, now we can put the board. Let me clean it up a little bit, dust it again on the other side over here. I'm just going to dust it gently. Okay. Let's put the board back now. So you have to lift this back. Bring this in. Okay, now you're gonna do the other side. You're gonna bring this out. This plastic over here. Okay. Again, never force it. Okay, if it doesn't sit or anything like that, do not force it. Take your time, look around. If something is not right, don't force it. Take your time again until you figure it out. Forcing it is not a good idea, and it could cause real problems. And I'm talking by experience here. Okay, so. Okay, so let me make sure. Why is it not sitting properly here on this side? There you go. See, sometimes this over here. You need to pull on it a little bit. It's one of the I'll say one of the most time consuming battery replacement on all the MacBooks is this model, because of the board has so many wires, and so all the others are much faster and much simpler. But if you do this, that will save you a lot of headaches. Otherwise, by the time you try to pull this wire out, the other one goes back in. So by doing that, they're all out now. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just gonna put a couple of screws to secure the board. Okay. Now I'm just going to put the wires. I'm not going to put all the screws. I'm just going to put the wires in. And if it's all good, then we just go like this and we'll plug in, we'll glue it in. I'll show you how. It's very easy. Again, take your time. You put the wires back in. If something doesn't fit, it's because something is blocking, something is wrong, it's not aligned. Do not force it. It has to go in gently. Because you go to replace a battery and then you end up with a bigger problem. And you might have to send it over. Just kidding, but just be careful. Okay, I'm almost there. There you go. Okay, now we need this wire. Without it, you won't even turn on. So it's very important. Which side is it again? Yeah, this side. One side is thicker than the other, so there's no way you can put it the wrong way. I'm just gonna plug in the antenna. And by the way, if you speak French, I do speak French, donc si vous parlez français, il n'y a pas de problème, vous pouvez communiquer avec moi en français, il n'y a pas de problème. Si vous voulez m'envoyer des emails ou téléphoner ou appeler et vous parlez que français, il n'y a pas de problème. Okay, so just, I'm fully bilingual, French and English. Okay, now we're gonna plug that in, so everything is good. And then we're gonna test it. Okay, so in, grab the cable. Okay, make sure it turns on. Okay, MacBook is on. Okay. Okay, be careful when you buy the battery from, okay? Just because you could end up, I've had so many people buying cheap batteries and then end up with a key in the charging circuit or damaging circuit. So anyway, I'm gonna log in to protect the ID of the client, and then I'll show you the numbers on the battery, but I need to. Okay, there you go. So new battery, cycle count, condo cyclage, second count 0. This means it's a brand new battery. It has a full charge capacity 9,000. The old one was at 5 or 4,000. And condition normal, so brand new battery, everything is good. Okay, so yeah, so we can go ahead and I can finish the job. So I'm going to show you how to finish the job. And the battery is excellent quality, and anyway, it's OEM original. So yeah, so let's do that. So I'm going to shut it down. Okay, so let's do that again. So what we need to do next, first of all, unplug the battery again immediately. Don't want to drop anything on the board when it's plugged in, because that's going to cause a problem. Remove this, the screw, unplug the. And now we're going to do, we're going to plug in, we're going to remove the double tape, so without having to undo everything again. So one at a time, like that. Okay, so that's the double tape. Goodbye. There you go. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to remove this film. I'm going to show you the double tape on the other side. So basically it's like that. See, there's double tape on it. So I'm just going to remove it. Like that. Remove the other one. There you go. Now you can push. Okay. Do the same thing here. One at a time. 1, 2. Beautiful. Okay. So the job is done, basically, pretty much. The hardest part was to get the cables. This one, like I showed you with the tape. And then you put this back. Now I'm just gonna put the rest of the screws, and we're good to go. Okay, so straightforward. I mean, I'm just gonna, maybe I should finish the video. Okay, let's finish the video. Anyway, if you like this video at this point, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I'm gonna continue with the video to put all the screws back, so you can watch or you can refer to if you ever have to. So let's continue. So I'm gonna put those screws back. Okay, let's put them here. Oops, sorry. Just drop something there. Okay, so let's continue here. So two of them are slightly, but not that much longer. They are for each side over here, for the edges. Okay, but those are the only one. Okay, and the tip, when you do the when you put the screws back, okay, one of them, see, it's not long enough, so I put a long one because they're exactly the same size almost. Put one there. this is it. It must be this one. See, there you go. This one's here. No big deal. I mean, you know, even if you miss one screw, it's not the end of the world. But what I wanted to say about the screws is that always be careful. Take your time when you screw down. Again, I'm talking about experience. Sometimes, you know, it happened to me. Let's put it that way. I wasn't paying attention, and when I screwed some areas where there is a lot of, you know, tiny components, the screwdriver slip, and then you end up knocking out one of those components, and then the machine doesn't turn on, or there's issues. Okay. Well, luckily enough, I know how to fix them, but just, you know, because I'm rushing, so don't rush. Take your time. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna put this back here, one more here. So that's the LCD. See the curvy part go against here. Okay, see what I'm doing. So I was saying the curvy part over here goes like that. Good. Okay, now those parts. I'm going to put one of the screws here. Okay, there's two of them. There's one on each side. There's one that has actually a hole inside it. I'll show you. I'm going to find it. That's not it. That's it. So I don't know if you can see, but there is a hole inside, and that's where the second screw will go. I'll show you in a second. This goes here. Okay, now when I put back that thing here, this cover, the screw goes inside. Perfect. Now I can put this cover back. So the good thing of having this compartment is that you can do the right side on the right side like I do, so that way it's much easier to find the screws. Like there's so many screws, and if it's your first time doing that, I mean, when you do it 10 times, 20 times, then you start to know where the screws go. But until then, sometimes it can be confusing if you don't have one of those. Okay, almost there. See, now we have this one, goes here. That's for the touch bar. That's for the trackpad. Almost done. Okay. Okay, one last thing, and then we're done. There's one missing here. I'm sure where it went, but it's not the end of the world if I don't find it. There it is. Okay, so I'm gonna put the battery back. Okay. Be careful if you use the tweezer like I did earlier, like that. There's nothing here that could short, so I know. Okay, done. Put this back, cover up, and that's it. Put the cover back, and we're good to go. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. The process is very easy, whether you're located in Toronto or anywhere in Canada. Just visit andouit.ca. Click here to get a quote, or you can also click on the menu here, get a free quote. It's the same link. There is 9 different categories, so try to select the one that best apply to you. In this example, I'm just going to click on my screen is black, and let's assume my screen goes black when I tilt it. So you can either get a free quote online, or you can also call if you prefer. For this example, I'm just going to click on get a free quote, fill up the form, and just click on submit form. When you click on submit form, this is what I receive on my end. And as you can see, we do receive a lot of requests. Actually, 90% of our business is shipped to us now from all over Canada. So you can rest assured that we know what we're doing. So I read it, I analyze it, and then I send an email with a quote with all the options to the client. And if you decide to ship it, you just click here to select your shipping option, and then you'll receive a shipping label. As soon as your MacBook is fixed, you will receive an email with pictures showing your MacBook repaired, your invoice, and how to proceed with the payment by credit card. As soon as the payment is made, we'll send it back to you. Thanks again for watching, and I look forward to receiving your MacBook. If you like this video, click the thumbs up button below to let me know, share it, and don't forget to subscribe. See you in my next video.